Okay then, Joe. So we're trying to create club head speed to increase the yardage, okay? So the talking in the past about that sort of power joint, or that magic move, whatever you call, this is all going to come from in the wrist, okay? It's a bit blurry now, it will clear a little as you start going through the swing. But as you swing back, okay, you make a nice good shoulder turn to the top of the backswing here. Very, very good. Your shoulders have turned 90 degrees. Yeah. You've got the angle now in the wrist there, which will help us create power. Now, the last month, I would say, you've worked really hard on getting your left arm to go from there and come back this way, and not kind of bend this way, so when it comes back to impact, it's sticking out, yeah? So we just look at the left arm first in this motion, okay? Your hands now are tracking around somewhere there. So really, really good movement as your arms come back. That's fine. If you watch when your arms go to the top of the backswing, okay? They're tracking up there. So your width in your swing now is being maintained really nicely, yeah? Left arm movement, very, very good. What we were focusing on today is that hinge of that wrist and keeping it longer. So your hinge there is, if we think your left arm is around here, and there's your club, you've still got 80% of wrist hinge, okay? You get to about 90. We want to try and maintain as much of that 90 as your hands get down to about here, so the club we would hope to see somewhere along this kind of like over your toe line.
Why does one do what I was doing? Why does one?
To try and hit it harder, to try and throw the club at the golf ball, to try and get down to it. Just sometimes a move that people make. It's not as maybe a natural to sort of hold this angle for longer. I think generally speaking, when people sort of struggle with top shots when they first start, or hitting it to the right, maybe slices, they'll throw the club and they'll try and do this. That's what we call casting. It's quite, if you Google casting as a golfer, it's quite a common fault that a lot of golfers will suffer with, okay? As you get to about here now, there's your left arm. The club now is there, so the angle again has been reduced a little bit more again. As we get to about here, there's the club in the picture. There's your left arm. The angle now is pretty much gone. So in that, if that's on at 2.2 seconds on the clock face, so from 2.02 to 2.19, so just under 0.2 of a second, yeah? The speed and the power has been lost here with your club, that unhinging the wrist. Now as you get here, it's how fast can you swing your arms, okay? Now look at the impact position here now. Your hands, you can see, are kind of leaning behind the golf ball, because the club, as we say, when we unhinge the wrist and do that motion, the club now is basically overtaking your hand. So you're kind of hitting it like sort of pushing and prodding sort of fashion, rather than that kind of snap that we did there with the golf bag, okay? So I would practice at home using the impact bag. What we want to try and see is the club and the hands and arms getting into this sort of line here. You see where your hands are there, they're on the green line. We want your club to hit the bag and your hands to be on that blue line more. So you're keeping the angle for longer and then unhinging the power, Joe, at the moment you want the speed, yeah? Now it will take a bit of practice, but if you get yourself set to that bag, the normal setup.
Because I need to know what I've got to do.
Yeah, of course. So get yourself set to the bag, okay? So swing back to the top of the backswing and stop. Okay, so your first practice you can do is just doing this with your arm. Your arms drop down and you're bringing the golf club now down. So the club is effectively sort of 9 o'clock on a clock face, yeah? As you hit the golf bag, okay, you unhinge. And look where your hands are now. They're opposite your left side. On the video, your hands are back here. Yeah? See that position there? That feels quite strange being back there, doesn't it, yeah?
Yeah.
So you can see that's where your hands actually are based on impact. If I clear all these lines here now, the ball is being hit. There's your impact back here. Because you've got here and you've done this. And done that, yeah?
I see.
So keeping that angle for longer, good, much better. So look at the position there. So your lead shoulder, left shoulder, as you come back into the bag, left, perfect, there. Shoulder, elbow, hands, club, all in a nice line, okay? Much better.
That.
Yes. So you're more on the green line, yeah? So at the moment you're on this blue line with the hands on the club.
Right.
The green line's where we're trying to get to, okay? With a better unhinge. If you keep the wrist hinge, that sounded bad longer, didn't it? Yeah, that sounded stronger. That was much better. Good, Joe. Well done.